tó bá jẹ́ tìwé ni mo kàwé o. tó bá dẹ̀ jọ́rọ̀ àgbà ni èmi lẹ́gbọ̀n. àpèmọ́ra ẹni dẹ̀ ni lágbé tèmi dire. mo ti ń ṣe ìbọ̀ ọjọ́ ti pẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ kìíní wá Emi Lokan. Emi Lokan.
Ọba jẹ́ sí wẹ́ni mọ̀ kàwé, mi ò ti ríṣẹ́ lálẹ́, ilé ayé ò ti bàjẹ́, jọ́ torí Ọlọ́run máa gbàgbé, God, don't forget me. Ṣọ̀rọ̀ tí mi, then please send me opportunity to help me to move forward in my Olúwa ọgbọ́ kígbe, dúra mi ti gbà, mo ti ṣe ìbọ̀ ọjọ́ ti pẹ́, ẹgbẹ́ kìíní wá Emi Lokan, mo ń fàṣẹ gidi gan. Now I really know it's my turn. You know I'm the chosen one. Orumu ojo tito. The sun has come. No more clouds, the rain has stopped. Emi Lokan, yeah, Emi Lokan. Mon fashe gidiga. Now I really know it's my turn. You know I'm the chosen one. Orumu ojo tito. The sun has come. No more clouds, the rain has stopped. Emi Lokan. I was getting treated like a...
So you're pretty good. I haven't heard anybody say that in ages.
You rolling, yeah?
All rolling.
Cool, we can even keep this in, to be fair. Right,
Don't start yet, don't start
Oh,
yet.
right.
Give us a sync clap. I mean, one was...
So apologies. Yeah. Round of applause.
Perfect.
That's what I need. Yeah, we started, yeah? Right, good afternoon, I guess I should say. Welcome to Emi Lokan. I guess thank you for tuning in to the viewers. I'm a bit rusty. It's been a long time since I've hosted something like this or interviewed people. Obviously, you can see the chessboard, you can see the setup. It's been months in the making. But Emi Lokan, it's a Yoruba phrase, Nigerian phrase. It means my turn, hence the chessboard. And yeah, this is a new style of content, a new medium that I've conceived for a while. You may see the microphones and instantly jump to the conclusion that, oh, this is a podcast. But I wanted to create something that was revolutionary. So I wouldn't call this a podcast for the guest that's coming in. This is like a think tank, like a hub of collating ideas and reasoning with people. It's not just going to be limited to interviews and whatnot. There could be live streams, there could be live shows and whatnot in the future, God willing. I'm going to keep some of my cards close to chest. But this is a platform forum. I call it a platform, right? So even though there's elements that are similar to a podcast and whatnot, it kind of is going to have a little bit of a tone of, Piers Morgan, Uncensored, DJ Vlad, Diary of a CEO podcast, even things like Lagged Bible, Taboo Room, and whatnot, Soft White Underbelly. So yeah, overall, I felt that the word platform, the portmanteau, was the best way to describe the community that I want to construct. This is the pilot, and today we have Elliot, do you want to introduce yourself?
What do you want me to say about?
So,
I don't want to ruin any of the questions up ahead.
I mean, however much you feel to share, name, age, where you're from, in whatever detail, what you do, stuff like that.
Yeah, so Elliot, 23, from Essex. Recently left my job as an electrician, probably a bit over 2 months ago now, and absolutely loving life as a full-time entrepreneur. It's definitely the lifestyle that I've been wanting for sure, and it's exciting. Just every day waking up is a new day, different day, getting on with pushing towards what I'm doing and where I want to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Funny enough, I'll go into a little bit of detail as to how I met Elliot. Maybe about a couple months ago. I think it was September or October.
I think October.
I didn't even check my dates. But around that period, a couple months ago, I was planning for this. Yeah, October the 16th. For this content. Initially, I was thinking of a podcast, and there's like a creative workspace in Camden that has another studio, and it's called Creators House. So just to plug them, and I'd used the workspace to plan for this. I was stuck for a while because this is a concept that I've had for a few months. I've done interview style platforms before. I used to have a podcast maybe 2018 with a partner of mine. He has his own podcast now. Maybe down the line we'll get him on here. But I wanted to do something very like serious. Obviously I was getting older, but about the same age and whatnot, and I knew that I wanted to go career-wise down a certain trajectory. So I knew that the plan had to be very succinct, so to say. So I've gone to Camden as I'm making my notes, looking online at how to start podcasts and whatnot. And then I think, Elliot, you happened to be recording that day, or what were you doing? If you feel free to interject whenever.
Yeah, I think that was the day of the first time I got a guest on. Not just over Zoom, but yeah, I just wanted to come into the studio just so I had the better audio quality, nicer background, and just better place to be interviewing him. And yeah, I think that was the first time I had a guest on. So yeah, I just came out, thought I'd do a little bit of work after finishing up, and yeah, that's where.
Okay, so you run your own podcast as well, would you say?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What's that podcast called?
So it's called From Hard Hat to CEO, and it's about from my journey from being an electrician to now CEO, entrepreneur, and just where I've seen a lot of people in the trades have just been getting into the trade, but maybe don't see themselves actually doing that for the rest of their lives, or don't see that as a dream or their passion, but don't know where to go or what to do. And that's just to try and help them find their way and make a plan into getting them towards that, whatever that is.
How long have you been running this podcast? We'll come on to some of the details you mentioned, but how long have you been doing this?
Also, like very, very fresh. It wasn't probably 2 months. Yeah, probably about 2 months. Well, actually, yeah, when I left my job, went to a couple different events. There was an event about a podcast event, and at that time I was like, I'd love to do one, but I don't know what to do it about. But at that time, I just thought, like, fuck it, let's just get booked onto the course, and then I'll figure out what it's going to be about and what I'm going to do with it later on. And that was only 2 months ago now, so still in the making of things of doing that. Got a couple things recorded, but still very much in the. Well, I plan that New Year's, January sort of time to be launching it.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. That's the best way to enter it. So, yeah, obviously you mentioned the event that you that you went to for podcasts? Because obviously I didn't meet you while you were recording. You came into the creative workspace.
Yeah.
And I'll come on to that. How did you start? How did you get into podcasts? What made you decide that you wanted to get onto that course and record a podcast? We'll start playing the game soon, but yeah.
So initially, I actually went to that event a different time before and heard his speech and was like, oh, this is like the perfect platform to get yourself out there, to help people, to build an audience, to get content out there. And it was just like a sort of all-in-one sort of thing where you can get presence, you can get that sort of credibility, the trust, you can get some guests on that you want to get on. But at the time, I just sort of let myself I let myself get in the way of myself. I just was like, I don't know what I'm going to do it about. And I didn't bother taking any action. And then that's when I went to that course again, just for like networking purposes, thinking, oh yeah, I've already been to there, don't really need to learn anything new. But then that's when I actually decided to just jump on, like to actually, just to go for it really.
Okay, so the first event, was it like a seminar or what was it?
Yeah, I'd say a seminar. It's like a three-day like event, and it's just got a variety of different speeches, different people there from different backgrounds.
About podcasts, or was that just general?
That was just one of the many people who spoke about
Okay,
things.
Yeah, so going back to Camden, it was the case where obviously I saw him doing some work and we were talking about I saw him recording and come into the creative workspace. If you haven't been to the studio, it'll be hard to understand, but I was like, oh, I saw you recording, do you have a podcast? And then he was talking about the courses and whatnot. I told him I was planning to create my own like platform, and at that time I was listening to a Diary of a CEO episode based on how he got his podcast quite popular and prominent. So then we exchanged contact details, script, and we kept in contact until this point. It really helped me push forward. It really made me rethink, okay, what am I going to record? What type of content am I going to put out? How to make it popular, promotional strategies. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, do you have any questions for me before we get into the nitty-gritties?
None at the moment, no.
Okay, yeah. So going back to what I was saying about this platform, so like I said, Emi Lokan, my turn, hence the chessboard. I'd already thought about the chess concept. This is expanded more in the intro and whatnot. But I wanted to kind of like do a cross-examination, kind of psychoanalysis of my guest in terms of how they think, like the steps they took to success while playing, if that makes sense, engaging like left and right brain. So like just through, and then as well as sharpening my brain and getting to know people and an interesting niche. I like playing chess. It was a thing where I thought this was the perfect amalgamation. In any case, let's do a coin flip and get it going. Heads or tails? I got. What you wanna? Okay. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Cool. Tails.
Wow. Thanks.
Okay. I'll just. Do you want to start?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So what begins? So okay. Yeah. 20-minute rapid game. 20 minutes either side. 3-second increments. So every time you make a move, there's a free. No forfeits. I will polish up on the rules of like draw, stalemate, and stuff like that. But I'm trying to improve as we go along. So I play week to week. So yeah. Cool.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Did you press something? Or?
I didn't. I was about to, and then you said... Oh yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to tap your tire.
Yeah. So, how did you start off as a electrician? You said that was your 1st career. How did you get into?
Yeah, so I guess part of the idea of becoming an electrician was back my dad was, when he was younger, he was training to be an electrician, and he's always been like the sort of like the handyman, knows a bit of all the sort of trades. So I guess I was always like just more hands-on
Okay.
than the sort of person behind a desk in the office. So I guess that was where it originally came from. And then luckily in my school that I went to, there was a course which I don't think many secondary schools really have this, which I suppose I was quite grateful that they did, because it's a construction course.
Okay.
And that course, in the like 2 years after you like, whether you decide to choose it or not, but for the people who do decide to choose construction as the course, that you get to do plumbing, electrics, and bricklaying, all in that like
Okay.
2 years. So you get like a nice sort of mix of all of them different trades, and then just I guess from doing them three, I mean I was pretty good at all of the 3 different trades, and I did enjoy all of them, but I suppose electrics I was more. I suppose it was just my preference at the end of the day, and it was probably the one where I wasn't going to be like just breaking all my body just to do the job.
For real.
Like the others, yeah. I mean, they're all obviously hard graft, but the electric side of things is a bit less and probably the most money. I don't know about now, because it seems like all the other trades are near enough catching up to electrics.
I heard bricklayers make
But yeah,
quite
they
a
make
lot.
some dough, like it's mental. But then I wouldn't want to be out there doing all that.
For real, yeah. You just got to take the rough with the smooth.
But yeah.
Have you got your so did you get like a CSC badge? I think that's what it's called.
I think you was probably thinking of CSCS.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But that's the one which is more towards everyone else. But for some reason, electricians have to be different, and they get ECS card, which is just an electrical version of it. But yeah, so after a while of doing the training, going to college, and yeah, going to college and then being on site, I then finally qualified as a fully like gold card electrician, and then but I mean during like the process of getting qualified, I mean it was probably didn't take too long for me to be on site to realise like this is not. It's your going.
No, I'm saying the mic,
Oh.
just speaking to
Yeah. Yeah, not long after I started going on site and working around people, I quickly realised that I was like, I don't like. It's not like I don't mind doing the work, being on site, talking to the lads, having a laugh, etc., etc. But I just quickly realised that this can't be me for until I retire, sort of thing.
So then you made the jump to becoming an entrepreneur.
So then, yeah, but then at that time, I didn't really know what, like I knew sort of, yeah, the entrepreneurial world was the way to go, but I didn't really know what way to go in that world.
Okay.
And I suppose it wasn't probably for, I suppose, a couple years being on site. I suppose at the time I was just sort of more focusing on the electrical side of things, and I wasn't really giving it much of a thought. of what to do outside of the electrics. I was just sort of just doing that, progressing forward with that. But at the same time, at the back of my head, I always thought that property was the way to go with how I suppose I was going to get my like financial freedom. But then even that, like with property, I still didn't really, because I was like, well, I don't really know anything about property. No one's in my family or friends or anything really was doing anything to do with that. And then, yeah, I just suppose that everyone around me was just in the like sort of full-time jobs, or just the normal sort of work life, 9 to 5s. But then, yeah, I suppose after that, I just got a bit more curious about it. Started to do a little bit of research. But I was just a bit wary with what I was looking up and whatnot, because I didn't want to go into something new, spend my time learning about it, for it to be the wrong information, or just not the information that is going to get me to where I want to go. And then that's when I found progressive property, and after that I looked at their Trustpilot thing, and just saw like hundreds of good reviews. So then from there I was just like, well, I mean, they obviously are like legit. They know their shit. They can be trusted. So then I just started to just slowly get into sort of them courses, and started to expand my knowledge, and yeah, just went to a course called Multiple Streams Income, and that's like all of the, well, maybe not all of the strategies now, because there's a couple ones which have like more like supported living, but like pretty much all of the property strategies is in that one event, and that's when it sort of just, you got a real picture on what sort of you could do with property and where you could go with it, and what sort of strategy you sort of wanted to go into.
Okay. So you work with serviced accommodation, correct, if I'm correct?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's right.
So what exactly is serviced accommodation to the listeners and the viewers?
Service accommodation is pretty much like, in essence, like an Airbnb side of things, like a holiday lets. But service accommodation is more the sort of like professional term, really, to call it.
Okay.
And the people who's doing it, who's calling it service accommodation, usually, or at least should have some services they provide, whether that's something as simple as like welcome packs or little extra bonuses in the property from the sort of like little like leaflets and various different local businesses in the area, or like taxi companies where they can actually have some sort of service which they offer the guests, just to basically make their stay more enjoyable, and yeah, just sort of like the little add-ons.
Yeah, I saw self-catering as one of the things that.
Yeah, so that's mainly one obviously bonus from being in a service accommodation compared to a hotel. Generally, most comparing it to most hotels, is that you obviously do have your whole building to yourself, a whole house to yourself, where you've got your own sort of space. You've got your own living room, kitchen, garden sometimes, more of like a home from home sort of style things.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I shouldn't have said anything. I should have.
Crazy. Yeah. So do you? So okay. I need to gather my thoughts. So you started this year after you left your job, or have you been doing it since, or whatever you wanna elaborate on? That's a decent move.
So coming this January, so 2 years ago, near enough 2 years ago, like that was when I done my service accommodation course, and that was like a 3-day intensive course to pretty much teach you probably like 90%, I'd say. There's probably some things they might not teach or might not leave out. Maybe to more of the 95% mark of what they teach is what you need to know. So obviously there's always some things that is just maybe the unknown, or I don't know. But yeah, so that was 2 years ago. And just, I probably, compared to most people, took longer to get their first property compared to other people. But I mean, I suppose everyone's different. Everyone has their own journey, their own reasons. At the start, I thought it was going to be a lot quicker road to what I was doing. But at the same time, I guess at the start, what I've learned is that I didn't put in as much effort as I needed to at the start. I thought it was going to be a bit easier than what it was.
Okay.
And there's a whole other load of reasons why it took a little bit longer. But just, what's it, Tuesday? So yeah, 3 weeks ago, I got my first property in Cambridge.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. I saw that, yeah.
So yeah, just 3 weeks ago, got the keys. Nice 2-bed in Cambridge. It's a really nice place. It's Cambridge, generally there's a lot of like sort of new builds in Cambridge. As it seems like there's always building works going on there, and there's a lot of land for them to build on. They should probably try and make the roads a little bit wider.
Yeah.
It's driving around there is long.
Yeah.
It's bare long. It's always like one-way streets and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of pedestrian areas. I went to
Yeah.
Cambridge maybe in May, around May, my cousin's birthday. But yeah, it's quite pedestrianised. So why did you do the course? Like, do you need to do the course to get into serviced accommodation? And also, was it a thing where did you have to contact investors? Because I don't know if you've seen a guy called RJ Hustle on TikTok. Have you seen him, Adeola? Okay, yeah. There's a guy called RJ Hustle. He gets properties as well, I think, after you finish uni. And I think for the properties that he was buying, he was like getting investors and whatnot. I think he's even in China to kind of meet with potential investors. Yeah. There was another guy I've seen. I think he does student properties. I'm not sure, but he does properties as well. I think he was in medical school, and then he dropped out after a year or so, and then he just went full time into properties. I think by 20. Do you know who I'm talking about? Or
No.
Yeah, I think by 23 he bought 5, but I think he gets investors as well. Is that what you were looking for, or did you?
So I'm looking for investors. I haven't really got any Well,
Is it my turn?
Maybe. Yeah, sure turn.
Okay, oh yeah.
I haven't got any investors exactly right now. Right now it's just been like self-funded with what I've done at the moment. But going to why I decided to get training, I was aware that I could go down the route of just YouTube, various different people, just absorbing all the like sort of online free content and that. But I was also just thinking in the mindset of, I can spend my time finding all this information and doing it myself without any actual courses. But at the same time, I just didn't want to go down that route, because I just was in the mindset of, if I get this training, I'll for sure be confident in all I'm learning is what I need to know to get myself in the best position in what I'm doing. And it will be more expensive to get training, but then it will also save me money down the line, because it's an investment. For service accommodation is an investment, and I want to invest in service accommodation the right way and do it to my best of my ability. And if I don't have just all what the people in that training has learned throughout the many years of their experience, that's training that I can learn from them in 3 days, compared to what they've learned, what they've learned in 5 years or however many years they've been doing it for. And it was just all of the sort of like little things all add up in service accommodation to make it to a very good standard in the property game in service accommodation.
Yeah, no, I that was one thing that I respected about you when I met you. You're one of those people who, you don't try to cut corners when you're learning how to kind of do something. Like, even when you told me the logistics of getting onto the course, I was like, whoa, like, that's a lot of people would just be like, I'm talking about the podcast course, by the way. A lot of people would just be like, I forget that. And I see you going to like different like events and seminars and whatnot for like, I think you went to one on, was it public speaking recent, or did you? Yeah. So a lot of people don't have that kind of mindset. Do you understand what I'm trying to say with regards to things?
Some people think, I just learn it myself, or I don't need a course for that, or like, that's a bit too much money to be spending on something like that, or that YouTube's out there, you can just learn anything from there. But I just personally just think that, like, it's an investment, but it's just so many skills, so many important skills out there, and I would much prefer to spend some money on that and learn from a professional who I can trust and who I know is going to tell me all the information that is actually like important and is what I need to know.
I can imagine, yeah. So you've been like that from a young age, like you're just like, okay, I'm gonna do everything like the way it's supposed to be. Like my mum used to say, what's worth doing is worth doing well. Like, have you been like that, or is that something you developed recently? Because I know, like, a lot of these, like, let's say motivational speakers or whatever, they will kind of say like, yo, do things by the book or whatever. Or was that an attribute you picked up, or what? Keep it to him.
Yeah, I never really sort of, I suppose, looked at it in the sense of that it's always been a trait of mine. I suppose it probably...
Sorry, did you move? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I suppose it probably was something that I've just always been brought up to just do things the way they should be done and do it to the best of your ability. I I don't really know where I got the idea of spending thousands of pounds on courses came from, because that is definitely something not anything my family has done in the past. And they think I'm crazy for spending so much money in all of this. So I don't know where I got the idea of to just get myself out to all these courses and go spend thousands of pounds on all of this. But I suppose I just knew that this was the way that I'm going to be able to get in the best position for my future.
Yeah, no, I respect it, because even I have a friend. At one point, maybe he'll come on here. To be fair, but similar to you, obviously, he wanted to get into like the property game, and even just a couple months ago, he went to a I forgot what the guy's name is. He went to a course like around
Probably
Heathrow.
Samuel Lee's.
Yes, that's the one, exactly. Yeah. Have you been on any of?
I haven't actually. No, I've never actually
Yeah.
been on these courses.
You've been to Samuel Leeds course as well. Yeah, and he spent a pretty penny on that. To be fair, do you get it? But I respect anybody who's genuinely willing to devote themselves to that type of thing. Yeah, I know other people who go on those type of courses. I remember there was somebody who spoke about like actually I'll leave that one. But yeah, investing in that craft of getting into the property game. But yeah, no, I respect that. How has the transition been from kind of electrician to like doing like a technical role to entrepreneur to being self-employed, and how's that transition been?
What, from when I left my job, or in general?
Overall, from when you decided, when you left your job up till now, how's that transition been?
So going back to when I suppose I first, let's see, yeah, going back to when I first, I suppose, decided to get in the world of, oh shit.
I'm running out of time. So I'm up in the ante. But yeah, go
It was
ahead.
me saying yes, and I didn't see the fucking, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
It is. But yeah, what you said?
Oh, sorry, I just
Processing, innit?
yeah, I'm just still like, wow, did I really just let that happen? Wait, what well,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to take it anyway.
I still,
Yeah,
I don't know
because
if
it's
that's-
check.
Yeah.
I should have said check. I forgot. But yeah, what were you said?
Yeah, the transition, it was a lot bigger of a transition, I suppose, than I first initially thought, because there's a lot of traits an entrepreneur needs to be very successful, compared to the traits of what an electrician needs to be successful. And there was a bit of a gap, I think, for myself. And yeah, I guess from that point of view, there was just a lot of learning I had to do in order to get myself in the position where I'm confident in what I'm doing. And I suppose that's also where I decided to do these courses, is to bridge that gap, along with obviously just putting in the effort to improve myself in general. So yeah, there's a lot I needed to learn, and just from I mean, there's nothing wrong with watching Netflix and going on social media, but just from being on site, just spending like in between when I'm supposed to be working, just being on my phone, at lunchtime being on Netflix, after work, either I don't know if I was Was I playing on my Xbox still at that time? Maybe a bit, not as much as I used to, but just like watching Netflix and whatnot after work. Just all of that is just a lot of time wasted.
Yeah.
And it is madness to think that how many hours that does take up just in a week, let alone in a month, or even in a day. Even going down to just a day. And I was probably on the lower end of that. Like I did obviously put a lot of time into all of that, but probably not compared to what some people do. And just from the simple things of just deleting Netflix off my phone, trying to restrict myself on social media, and just claiming back some of that time, I think was very, very important to do. Sorry, I'm just.
Nah, I hear it.
I don't really know what is the best option to
time
do
is
here.
running out now. So that's one of the reasons why I'm up in the ante myself. So.
But yeah, just from them things alone, just claim back my time from that to now, after I've left work, just being in my own routine is 1,000 times better. But then obviously you still need to be very aware of what you are putting your time into, because it's very easy just to be, I suppose, just not productive because you don't have someone to tell you to get on with your work or to hurry up or to whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, it's like, it's a lot less stress not working for anyone, but then at the same time it's a whole different stress working for yourself. It's you're like, okay, shit, come on, let's fucking,
It's on
let's
you,
get,
innit?
let's get a move on.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot more enjoyable for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. And yeah, like recently recently just been getting myself in just good habits. So yeah, I noticed that my discipline, that with my discipline, I noticed that I can be able to keep more disciplined when I'm actually like in bed, like doing the good habits.
Okay.
But once I've got like one thing on the roll and going, I notice that it's more easy to keep to something else. Another like promise, I suppose, that I made to myself is it's easier to keep to that promise when I've already sort of building that other evidence for other sides of things. So say like I'm getting more consistent in the gym, and now it's more easy to keep to my like supplements and the other side of things. Whereas when I was not thrown out, but when I was not in the consistent path of going gym, when I was taking the consistency in taking my supplements, just wasn't there. But now I've sort of getting more consistent in one thing, it's easier to get consistent in another. And yeah, like I think it's just so important to just keep the ball rolling and keep the momentum going, because once the momentum's going, that's when you're really cooking on gas, and that's when you're really getting somewhere.
So like that kind of positive reinforcement, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, positive reinforcement. I utilize that as well. I don't know if there's another word for it. I know positive reinforcement, but kind of just getting momentum to kind of do, because some tasks are even more difficult than others in terms of the amount of thinking, whether physical or mental, kind of effort, exertion that is required. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
For me, certain times, like I'll perform easier tasks during the day to like kind of psych me up. To
Yeah.
harder tasks. Even today, just this interview has kind of put me on the path to do something that I've been procrastinating for in a long time.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'll keep that to myself. But just in terms of career progression and stuff like that. But nah, I respect that. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the procrastination is real, especially when you're working for yourself. Because right now with that property, there's so many things to do. Like, it is crazy the amount of things that I need to do to get things set up. And when a little bit after I first took it on, I was just sitting there. I was like, I know what to do, but it's just the thoughts of all what I need to do is just like is a bit overwhelming, to say the least. But it's just, I think it's just about, it's also like a bit what you said, with just getting the sort of, maybe like a couple little wins just to put yourself in a bit of a momentum to then start to get all the actual things you really need to do on the move.
Okay. So there were two questions that I had about that. So do you plan your days? Like, if so, how? Like, do you plan things? And then also, there was something else. I forgot. We need to start jotting this stuff down. Do you plan your days?
So that's something I'm still needing to like get more of a handle on, I guess.
Yeah.
I planned the things like the meetings, the viewings, the things, the sort of main events of the day, but the actual down to the task by task. I'm doing this task by this time, this task by that time. That side of things, I still haven't gotten down to a T yet. And yeah, I think it's just like my mindset of that. I think it's going to take so long, so then I sort of just automatically just put it off and just get on with something else, which isn't obviously the best idea. I suppose I'm aware of it, which is one thing, but I still need to actually do the thing and get the plan more to
Oh, sorry.
oh shit. Yeah.
How do you plan your days? Is there specific methods, notes, calendar, brainstorming, Gantt charts? I don't know if you've ever used Gantt charts in your industry or
Oh
what.
shit. So.
Oh, you couldn't make that move. Sorry, that was an
Oh
illegal
yeah.
move.
Shit.
Forgot. So
Wait.
where was that before?
That was there.
And where was your king before?
King didn't move.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was after. Oh yeah. So I moved it there, then you moved that there, then.
So.
Oh, okay. So it was right. Okay. Yeah.
Pawn moved first.
No, but it doesn't matter as long as it was like
Oh wait,
Yeah,
it
so
was like that.
That's where it was, and that's.
this. Oh,
where-
okay.
Yeah,
where
then
the
I
king has
needed
to
to
move your
move
check.
that. Yeah. I see.
Okay, so was it his turn now? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'll just leave it a couple seconds. Then, bing.
So it's my turn, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. How do you plan your days?
So Google Calendar, I think, is probably like one of the best and cheapest ways to do it. Like right now, I've got my calendar, and I've got like multiple different calendars in a way. It's just like different sort of colours for different things. So one of them's personal development, one of them's events, one of them's social and networking, one of them's meetings and follow-ups, one of them's just action taking. So that's like I don't know what to do here.
I think critical thinking, man.
Yeah, so that's like the sort of way at the moment. I do have this task manager that I need to go on there and basically just sort that out, because there's just there's a lot of tasks, and right now I've gotten to a good standard of doing what's the priority at the time when it needs to be done, but then I still need to plan ahead better.
Yeah. By the way, just a disclaimer, like, obviously, like it's nice to like win or lose at chess or whatever, but the aim of this is more to like stimulate critical thinking rather than like an innovation rather than. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's why I'm talking to you and asking you as you go along. So even if you don't, it's just like, okay, cool. How can I? Do you get it? If that makes sense, get out of this type of pickle or whatever. But okay, yeah. So that's interesting. I use calendar, and I used to use Outlook calendar and stuff like that. Are there any books that you've read in your journey to becoming an entrepreneur? Are there any ones that you'd recommend or anything?
The Diary of Stephen Bartlett's book, that was really good. Then like Rich Dad Poor Dad is good, probably like a good barrier to entry if you've not.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki, like just getting your toes into it, like just starting off. I think that's a very good book to read. Oh, you're fucking me over it. I mean,
I even need to polish up. I have an inkling that I'm gonna get much better players as I go along in this. But not to say that you're bad, like.
I mean, I probably played like 5 games of chess in my life.
Oh, okay.
Probably not even 5.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. You have to say something. He was there chilling. He was taking his time. Oh no, this is gonna be the start of just them just crumbling.
So what's your favourite book, like, in this journey? What's the book that's like kind of was there anything that kind of like was life changing for you? Was like a turning point, even to become an entrepreneur and whatnot, or what was it like?
Just. Oh, I just realised the time.
Yeah, to be fair, it doesn't matter as long as, do you get me?
I'm just gonna be playing. I'm just gonna be chasing you with that. Aren't I? Was there any books?
I wish I could get a checkmate, to be fair, but
Any books? To be fair, recently I've been quite bad on the habits of reading. I've just been filling my time up with doing other things, I guess.
Has there been any content you've been watching?
To be not particularly much content. One book I want to finish is
Crazy.
I mean, the one book I want to finish is Atomic Habits.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, that is a great book. That is some of the shit which is in there is really good. So I wanted to finish that because, it's funny because that one book which is teaching you about how to create better habits, I still haven't made myself create the good habit of reading the fucking book.
Fair. I'm more of an audiobook listener myself. I do read, but what happens? This is the catch-22. No, you couldn't make that move because it was.
Shit. I did it
Do
again.
you want to call it a day?
I mean, I've got 7
even
seconds
though I'm as a not
left.
forfeit. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. But we can continue the conversation.
Yeah, go on, after you.
But yeah, nah. Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
I don't know, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, I do prefer listening than reading, to be fair. So I brought on Audible, got the subscription on there. But on Audible, I don't know, when I talk to people who's got like audio subscription, they just get like the monthly subscription. And I suppose Audible want to get people to buy the monthly subscription more, but there's like the yearly one, and the yearly one is cheaper, and you get like, I think it's like 21 or 24 credits all at once.
Okay.
And yeah, it's cheaper, and you get more credits.
So what do
all
the
at
credits
once.
do?
That each credit is each one book.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
From like a free trial or something? Or what do you mean?
no, for the subscription to get the
So you can only get 21 books in that time or something?
in like a year.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it might be a little bit more.
Okay.
But it worked out more. You get more books in a year than what you would if you only had the monthly subscription.
And I think from what I know, that it just means one at a time, right?
Well,
It's just, I used to have the monthly, and it's like once you're done with a book, I remember it's just that you can't have 2 books at one time. From
oh,
what I remember.
I
This was years back.
well, I don't know about
But
the.
you can read as many as you want in the month.
I believe so. I think the credits are about how many you're actively reading. At
Oh,
once.
okay.
Well, I don't know, but with the yearly, like you can just listen to as many as you want, assuming you've obviously got the credits. But I mean, if you don't have the credits, you can just buy the book.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Obviously, right now, we're recording in December. The plan is to start releasing for 2025. Have you got any New Year's resolutions? Any goals for the New Year's? Anything?
I mean, the main goal is, I suppose, just to stay consistent in what I'm doing now. To keep on the same path, to just keep pushing on with what I'm doing. Right now, I'm in a good position with what I'm doing, so I've learned not all what I need to know, obviously, but I've learned all what I need to know to get me to a very good point of where I want to go. So it's just about, for me, it's just actioning all of that and to stay consistent in that. Whether that's just nutrition and gym, to sleep. Firstly, just getting the basics, just absolutely like crack down on and to a very good point, and then to systemize my service accommodation business, to systemize that and to grow that.
So is that incorporating like AI or stuff like that? What do you mean by system?
So a little bit of AI, various different softwares, virtual assistants.
Okay.
They're probably the main 3, and then just having like the ground team, like the cleaners, the maintenance team, various different people who I may need in the future for that side of things. The service accommodation side, and then obviously launching the podcast.
Okay.
And that's gonna be
Oh yeah.
that's gonna be one of the big things, to launch that and to
Yeah.
shoot up to the top to number 1.
Yeah. God willing. Yeah.
So they're the main sides of what I want to be doing. I also plan on going travelling next year as well.
Okay.
On top of all of this.
Where do you want to visit?
So right now I only have the one main place. When I first thought about travelling next year, the first place what popped into my head was Bali.
Okay.
So
That's
like Indonesia.
yeah. I was thinking like
Yeah.
yeah, that type of one of the islands like
Yeah,
Jakarta. I was gonna say Philippines. I forgot, but like Jakarta, those type of
Yeah. So there was the main. That's the first place I want to go to, and where obviously I'm in a position where I can now work wherever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. I can just go off to Bali, still do what I need to do, still grow the business, but just in a much nicer
No,
location.
I hear it. So have you got any? In fact, before we come on to that, you mentioned like I can tell that what would you say like rest, relaxation is a big part of your thing. I saw that you've been to Dubai, and I don't know what other countries I saw Dubai. That was one thing that I saw. Where else have you?
Dubai. I recently went Cayman Islands, Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, that was such an amazing holiday.
Yeah.
That was sick.
And I also saw that you went into like a hyperbaric chamber.
Oh yeah.
And a cryogenic.
Yeah.
chamber.
That was a nice day. That was like the day after I left my job. Actually, no, I think it was 2 days. The first day I left my job, it was the morning, and I'd done that ice bath in my house.
Okay.
And then that day, someone I know messaged me and said, I've got something better than the ice bath. And I was like, what is this guy on about?
Crazy.
And then he messaged me. He was like, I've got loads of credits in this place. If you want to go, you can go ahead, use some of my credits. I was like, fucking yeah, let's fucking go.
Crazy.
And I went there, and he didn't tell me how much credits I can use. And then the woman was talking to me, and she was basically just said, oh yeah, you can do this package thing. And it literally just included everything. So I went to the hyperbaric chamber, the cryo chamber.
That's hyperbaric is like high pressure.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. So what does it do for you? Does it relieve like stress?
There's so many benefits to it. What are some
I have
benefits?
a bit of a physics background. Because I know like, do you know them deep water divers?
Yeah.
Do they go into those hyperbaric chambers or something?
So
do you know anything about that?
That would be something they'd avoid if they would because when you go in that hyperbaric chamber, it's basically like when you go in the air and your ears are popping and the oxygen is I don't know what the oxygen is doing, but it's doing something. It's doing some sort of it's getting thinner or something. I don't know. But yeah, whatever it is.
Because the pressure's lower, higher up in the air, innit? If I remember.
Yeah.
Earth pressure at like surface level is about 101 kilopascals. So how do you know how many pascals that? You couldn't tell me.
No idea.
Okay, no, but I'm just thinking because I know that they go into certain chambers to like release air bubbles trapped in there. Does it improve posture or does it improve like the skeleton? I'm assuming would it improve?
I'm not too sure. I know people who's got injuries, like footballers, athletes, will go into there. It improves and speeds up like recovery.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of benefits to it. Not many. Like right now, I'm learning a lot of things which are good for me, but all of the benefits behind them, I'm still sort of like catching up on.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was some deeper things. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, what? Do you play some sports? Do you play sports or?
Not exactly. I used to do Muay Thai. A couple times a week.
That's crazy.
And that was I'd done that for a little while, but then. When was it? So yeah, it was like the last sort of tests that I had to do to become an electrician. I had just stopped going for a little bit, and ever since after that, I never ended up returning. And then it was also quite expensive, and I was leaving my job, so I was just like, okay, let me park that for a bit.
Yeah. Even after this, I'm gonna go head to a Muay Thai gym myself.
Oh, is it?
I may not train, but one of like my former employers. He doubled over as like a PT, and he used to go to his gym. So I'm gonna see if I can get some training there.
But yeah, I definitely want to get back to that. Whether it's gonna be back in Hornchurch where I'm from or in Thailand.
It's crazy.
But I'd love to do it in Thailand. That would be a madness.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna start rounding up. Have you got any advice for, let's say, people you are moving from, like, let's say, well, what's the all-encompassing word for that? Like, electrician, plumbers?
Construction.
Is that just the, okay,
Yeah, I'd say construction.
Yeah, but like...
Trades.
Yeah, tradesman. That's...
Tradesman.
Would you say, have you got any advice for let's say, potential tradesmen who want to make like entrepreneurial jumps? Is there any like, I don't know, maybe 5 key steps that?
I think the first step is just being curious about wanting more and going for more. I think curiosity will get you to a lot of new places, whether that's being curious and reaching out to just people on Instagram, just asking questions, just seeing what they know. Is I think just talking to a few people who's already walked the walk, or just going where you want to go, or maybe just you don't know where to go, so just you talk to them. They've already been in a position where maybe you have, just to see what they can help with, if they can just suggest any events, suggest any training. I think that could be a good idea. But other than that, I think literally just getting yourself out there to just various different events. There's a lot of like just general entrepreneurial events or business events or general property events. Just get yourself in them rooms, because you'll be amazed with the amount of like wonderful and weird and wonderful business ideas. What people are doing is just so interesting. Just having a conversation with someone, and just finding more about them, even if it might not be relevant to you. It might spark a new idea up for yourself, or something might resonate with you, which you wouldn't have maybe thought about when you're just in your room on your own, sort of thing. So I think it's just the first step, just getting yourself out there and just getting yourself out of the normal, everyday sort of rotation of things.
Okay.
Just doing something different than day.
Yeah. And then apart from that, I think we'll round up. But any advice, more general advice to, let's say, the listeners, any lesson you've learnt from life, or anything that any message you'd have for them?
I'd say life is a lot more simpler than we make it out to be. We like to overthink things, confuse things, try and make things A, B, C, D, E, F, G when it's just A and B. You just need to just take a step back and just maybe just stop thinking about everything and just start thinking about the next couple steps, next things to do.
Yeah, I probably should have asked this before, but we'll finish up at this. Any questions for me or anything? On camera, off camera, anything you want to ask? If you don't, it's...
Yeah, cool. No, nothing at the moment.
Right, no worries. But Elliot, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. It's been an honour for being the first.
Yeah. No, it's been a great one. But this has been Emi Lokan. Yeah, we out.
Success plenty for Lokan. Success plenty for Lokan. Emi Lokan. Mon fâché gidi gan. Now I really know it's my turn. You know I'm the chosen one. On room or jotita. The sun has come. No more clouds, the rain has stopped. Emi Lokan. Yeah, Emi Lokan. Mon fâché gidi gan. Now I really know it's my turn. You know I'm the chosen one. On room or jotita. The sun has come. No more clouds, the rain has stopped. Emi Lokan, yeah. Egbe kini wa, egbe. Ekujo meta, eshe. Egbe kini wa, egbe. Ekujo meta, eshe goni.